Well, you all know that crochet is my passion, but it doesn't mean that it's always a bed of roses. Between the amazing mental health benefits that comes along with the craft and the huge pile of whips that I have here in my place, there's a lot to unpack. So today let's talk about why crochet is the best thing, but also it could be a nightmare. Hey everyone, if you're new here in the channel, I am Bianca from Crocheniacs, and if you want to learn how to crochet amigurumi from scratch, or if just like me, you love everything amigurumi related, this is the right channel for you. So let's start with the good things about crocheting. And the first thing is the mental well-being and focus. I think one of the biggest advantages of crocheting is the immediate mental well-being that you feel, because the repetitive motion of crocheting the stitches, it feels like it's incredibly meditative, and counting the stitches can help us quiet a busy mind, and therefore it reduces stress and anxiety. It's true, whenever you're crocheting one round of single crochets, you forget about the world around you. You're simply concentrated in crocheting the stitch, counting. You want to finish this round with 40 single crochets, and you are concentrated in doing that thing. Because of that process of involvement, we get less anxious. And let me share something with you. Whenever I am too stressed at work or studies, whatever, I feel like I need to grab a project in my hands and simply crochet. I'm like, oh my God, I'm too stressed. I need to crochet for a little bit, and like, just give me half an hour. And it really helps to calm my mind. I'm an overthinker. And it really helps to quiet my brain.
A little bit.
Anxiety, you're putting too much pressure on her.
Benefit number 2 is a creative release and self-expression. And it doesn't matter if you're meticulously following a complex pattern or letting your imagination run wild with your own design, you are constantly exercising your artistic side. Because in the end, you get to choose the colors, the textures, and each piece that you crochet is uniquely yours. And at least for me, it's amazing to see something that I am creating with my own hands, stitch by stitch, come to life. Benefit number 3, problem-solving skills. Crochet can be amazing to improve your problem-solving and continuous learning skills. You know I'm a teacher. I always mention it here in the channel. And I am constantly thinking about learning processes and things like that, which for me is amazing. And I use a lot of my knowledge, academic knowledge here in Crocheniacs, of course I use.
But and I can correlate a lot of things, and I think it's amazing. But usually people are not that interested in those psychological stuff.
But anyways, you inevitably will find some challenges in your journey. Even if it could be like for many different reasons. Perhaps it was a confusing pattern and there was a typo or a mistake, or perhaps it's just like you're a beginner and the project demands a little bit more from you. And of course, if it demands more, if it's an intermediate pattern or advanced pattern and you're still a beginner, you have to force yourself to learn new skills. Continuous learning happens. Or sometimes you found that the pattern instruction was correct, everything was right there, but for some reason it didn't work in your project and you came up with a whole different idea and your toy was beautiful in the end. It's your problem-solving skills improving. So this constant intellectual stimulation keeps your brain active and engaged, which is extremely beneficial for your cognitive health. Benefit number 4, patience and accomplishment. Well, for those of us who tend to be a bit impatient and want things done ASAP, crochet can be an amazing teacher because it teaches you to be patient and perseverant. I constantly receive messages from people asking me, how do you keep your stitches so beautiful? Oh my God, this project is amazing. Or how do you do this? I've been crocheting for months and my projects are not beautiful like that. Awesome that you're crocheting for months. I've been crocheting for a decade. This patience that it demands from you for you to have a better stitch, a better crochet tension, or I don't know, whatever, is important. You don't learn how to play an instrument in a week. If you start, I don't know, learning how to play the guitar, you will not become Slash over a month, over 6 months, or a year, because he's been doing that for his entire life. The same things work for crochet. It demands patience from us. But why did I put patience and accomplishment together? Because the moment you're able to see this progress, nothing can take this feeling from you. Believe me. Because whenever I take an old project of mine and I compare with a new one, I don't have enough words to describe this feeling. It's amazing. It's really amazing. You see that I get excited with those things because it's really something that I love doing. But benefit number 5, digital detox. We nowadays live in a super digital world. I think sometimes it's funny, whenever I'm going to work and I go by bus, it takes a while for me to get there. I won't lie to you. Of course, I use my cell phone. Sometimes I'm listening to music. I like praying. I'm very religious and I pray every day in the morning. So I put my headphone and I listen to my morning prayers whenever I'm going there. I take this moment in the bus to answer some people, my family, friends, and whatever. But what I observe is that no one ever stops to observe the beautiful landscape. You know, I'm in Finland. There are lots of forests everywhere. I think the nature here is amazing. You all know that. There are many articles online about how much the Finnish people are involved with nature and things like that. So whenever I'm on the train or in the bus, of course I use my phone. I won't be a hypocrite here to say that I do not do that, but I like to take at least a few minutes to not do anything. The last time I took the train with my husband, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just admiring nature." And he was like, "You're admiring quite a lot today." But I was, because it was a beautiful day. The landscape, the nature here is amazing. And I see that everyone, you look around, everyone in the train is like scrolling, you know, all the time, scrolling reels on Instagram, shorts, videos on YouTube, like just scrolling and not doing anything. It's not good for our brains. I mean, not good at all. I really believe that crochet can be an amazing digital detox. Yeah, I'm talking about it. I'm saying that it should be a detox, and I'm here recording a YouTube video. I also watch YouTube videos. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do this. Of course, it's interesting. There are so many channels that I love here on YouTube, and there are so many, I don't know, Instagram pages that I like. But I really think that it's completely okay. Like, watch a video, 2 or 3 videos, but then get out of the internet for a while and live, you know? Crochet and do something else. I always take a skein of yarn and a crochet hook with me to crochet whenever I'm in the bus. Yeah, I'm not observing the nature because I'm focused on crochet, but while I'm doing it, I am exercising my brain, my creativity, my motor skills, which is something that I'm not talking about it here. To be honest, I have my script for today's video and I listed 8 benefits. But perhaps it was too much and this video will be too long. I'll probably leave it to a next one because I don't want to make this video 1 hour chat.
It's just a lot of big talk, you know.
I know.
But yeah, crochet can be an amazing digital detox. But I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there are bad things about crochet as well. I promise you to be completely honest. I'm always honest in this video. Every time I come here, I turn on my camera, I am 100% honest with you. So I'll keep doing that. And crochet is not a bed of roses. And the first thing that I have to talk about is comparison and self-doubt, which is also something connected to social media. I think that nowadays it's so easy to simply scroll on Instagram or YouTube, whatever. It doesn't matter. I think Instagram is a bit worse, but it doesn't matter which social media you're using. You see so many people doing that and being good at this thing that you feel like you're the odd one out.
I'm not good enough.
But something that we forget, and I'm talking about that to you, but it also happens to me. I compare myself a lot. It's not healthy. Not healthy at all. Whatever pops up for us on social media is highlight reels. We don't see a reel that is like has 0 views, it's usually because the algorithm is pushing that content. And those content that are performing super well with thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching is someone else's best work. We don't see what's going on behind the scenes. You don't see the flaws. Whenever I'm crocheting an amigurumi, I frog it like 3-4 times before the beautiful amigurumi that is available to purchase, the final pattern, before this final product is done. There is a lot of try and error. And with that beautiful amigurumi, you don't see the struggles, you don't see the mistakes, you only see what is already perfect, or it looks perfect, and then you feel like whatever I'm doing is not comparable to what this person is doing. And it can be very dangerous. The bad thing number 2, yarn hoarding. Yeah, because I think it's so easy to get tempted by the amazing brands that exist and the amazing colors, and you end up with a huge pile of yarn that you probably never use, or you bought just because they were on sale, and you had this thought behind your back like, what if, what if I need this one day, but this day never comes? And honestly, constantly buying yarn can add an extensive cost in your budget at the end of the month, which is not something cool.
Not at all.
And the bad thing number 3 is very related to the bad thing number 2, which is storage problems. I am facing this problem right now. I don't consider myself a yarn addicted person, and whenever you work with crochet, of course you need to have more yarn than the usual, but I live in a small place. It's only a 1-bedroom apartment, and keeping all the yarn that I have, it has been a challenge. So yeah, I mentioned that I'm not going to talk about the problems that comes with it that much, because there is already a whole video dedicated to it here in the channel. I am just eliciting some of the problems that can come with crochet, and yarn storage is one of them. Number 4, the obligation in gift giving.
What?
That's a very interesting one, and I don't know if you have ever been through that situation, but I have quite a few times. Because whenever I started taking crochet more seriously, I've been crocheting, as I said, for over a decade. But the moment I decided to open up business and call it Crocheniacs and start an Instagram account and register my brand and things like that, and I was announcing that I was selling things, more people, and it was funny because the moment it became like a job, a business, more and more people started asking me for things like for free. Like gifts, like, oh, look at this keychain, this is amazing, can you make this one for me? Because you notice by the tone of voice if the person is really willing to purchase something from you, or if they're just mentioning something because they saw on the internet, they thought it was cute, and they're like, hey, I have a cousin, I have a niece that knows how to do it, so I'll ask her to crochet one for me. It's kind of different, the way that people talk to you. And I realized that this obligation gift giving became way stronger the moment it became official that Crocheniacs was a brand, Which also doesn't make sense, because if it's your job, you're doing it for money, and you need the money to survive.
Obvious.
But before I tell you the last bad thing about crochet, if you're having fun with this video, remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos, tutorials, tips and tricks that I bring here every single week. And if you want to see a bit more the behind the scenes of Crocheniacs and support my work, I would love to have you in my Patreon community, because you not only support my work, but you also receive one pattern every single month. The link to become my Patreon member is in the description of this video. But the last thing that I need to talk to you about crochet is that this is not relaxing for everyone. Yeah, crochet can be relaxing, and this was the first benefit that I shared in today's video. This incredibly relaxing feeling, it's not an universal thing. And again, I have to share a bit of my experience here with you, because I am a pattern designer. I have books published. Designing a pattern is something very complex. It demands so much active mental process from me that sometimes it can be really, really stressful. I have patterns that simply worked smoothly, you know? The idea came in my mind. I didn't even need to draw. I simply crocheted and it worked. Sometimes the idea comes, I need to draw, and it works perfectly. And when I say perfectly, it doesn't mean that I take the crochet hook and the yarn and it works at the first attempt. It's usually not like this. Usually you have to give it a few tries. But that's okay, it's part of the process. But sometimes you have a project in mind, or a commission, or I don't know, it's a pattern of a book, for example, and you struggle with it for weeks, for months, and you have a deadline, you have a contract, then things become really stressful and complicated. And I've been through that a couple of times. One of the patterns that I created for one of my books demanded so much from me. It seems simple, but it was not working exactly the way that I wanted. I was so frustrated that I paused the project and I crocheted something else. And when I came back to the project, it didn't work again. And this constant trying, frogging, there is a lot of self-doubt involved. It can be really hard. So crocheting is fun. I love it. I mentioned here that whenever I'm stressed, I need to take a yarn and a crochet hook. But I just want to mention that this is one of the bad sides of crocheting that also exists. If you're a pattern designer, there is a lot of things, and I'm not even talking about the whole business side because it would demand another video from me. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like me to create a video to talk about those issues, because I don't know how interesting it would be for you. But just so you know, and really appreciate the designers, because this process is not easy at all. It is fun. It's amazing when you see that your amigurumi came to life and you did an amazing project and people admire and you receive positive reviews for that project that took you so long to do. Is amazing. This feeling is amazing. But while you're still in the process, it can be really challenging. But as always, I would love to hear from you. I always ask this in the end of my videos because it's true. I love hearing your stories, your side of the things, because you have similar experiences than I do, and sometimes you have different experiences. I think it's amazing to share. I learn a lot from you. I love when you say that you learn from me, teacher mindset, but I also love to learn from you. Please let me know in the comments what are the good and bad things about crochet in your opinion, and I'll leave you this video here because I'm sure you'll like it too.